Welcome back, everyone, to Quills and Rockets. I'm Astro.
And I'm Thornquill.
And it has been over a month since the last episode, and I think I speak for everyone when I say that we're all happy to have some more pony.
I couldn't agree more, Astro. And who should end the mini hiatus but Rarity with a long-awaited episode, Canterlot Boutique, or as I like to call it, Suited for Success Part 2.
I think everyone is calling it that. And honestly, they aren't too wrong. And just like Suited for Success, this one was one for the history books. We start this episode out with Pinkie Pie mysteriously appearing in Carousel Boutique, offering stomach-churning cupcakes and a letter for Rarity.
Rarity is ecstatic upon reading the letter, as she, like many of the main six this season, is one step closer to one of her long-term dreams, opening a boutique outside Ponyville and in Canterlot, no less.
And look! Continuity! Rarity's opening a new boutique, using the money she got from her Sapphire Shores job. Economics does work in Equestria. And more than anything, I love seeing things like this, where our beloved characters aren't just stuck chasing the same goal forever, but they're actually working their way towards their goal. Rarity is finally becoming some pony that every pony should know.
Indeed, and I'd speculate that there's a good chance now that Rainbow might actually join the Wonderbolts and not completely end the show, now that we have this theme. Rarity, meanwhile, seems to have everything set up pretty well to run the new shop. She even has a new OC to run the shop by proxy for her.
Not only that, but she has some really amazing new dresses too. I mean, look at those! That had better be Celestia and Luna's dresses for the gala next year. And look at the planning! Sassy Saddle actually has a whole business model planned out. And they said this show was just for little kids.
Sassy definitely seems to have a vision for the place. So much so that her zeal seems to be overshadowing Rarity just a tad. Oh boy! Workplace conflict!
Strap yourselves in, kiddies! Welcome to the real world!
While the tension remains, Sassy and Rarity seem to work together to some degree to showcase Rarity's premier designs. And I have to say, I love this fashion plate character. His excitability is adorable. Sorry, hoity-toity, you've been thoroughly upstaged.
But if I had to be around that all day, I might just hit him at some point. But that's just me. We quickly see Sassy doing something that is very commonly done in the real world. Advertising something by showing a very famous person using or wearing it. Works every time, and this is no exception. After seeing Princess Twilight wearing the princess dress, everyone wants one.
And although you'd think this is a good thing, Rarity and Sassy's management styles are beginning to clash once again. And to tell the truth, I'm not sure it's Sassy's fault. But more on that later. For now, we have a musical number.
And what a musical number it is. I have to say, I really like these types of songs from Rarity. Just like The Art of the Dress. It's not a big extravagant song where a lot of things are happening, but a short little thing to show how the character is feeling, and letting us see things from their perspective in a nice, catchy way. I liked it a lot.
Agreed. Just like what we talked about in our Suited for Success review, one of the best ways Rarity shines is these little insights into her creative thinking. How she wants to make something perfectly unique for every customer. Unfortunately, both Sassy and her customer don't seem to appreciate this approach. They definitely favor the ideals of mass production and, dare I say, fashionable conformity. A surprisingly insightful theme for this show.
The funny thing is, this is how the world really works. How many of you buy things that are advertised because everyone else is wearing it, or because someone famous likes it?
And how many of us are even able to buy something completely unique? It's hard enough to make something with mass production, that's for sure. But this artistic idealism is what I love about this show.
This is how the real world works. Businesses try to make one thing popular, and then milk it until there's nothing left. And the sad thing for many artists is this is the most successful business model out there. And don't you sit there saying, "What's he talking about? Making uniques is the best." Yeah, tell that to Walmart.
Which is exactly the clash that Rarity and Sassy are having. Sassy works with marketing models and success projections, while Rarity wants to work with individuals and constantly creating something new. Rarity, however, has had it with living as an assembly line, and decides to shut down the boutique for good. Wow, that's a hell of an extreme measure, but I think I can sympathize.
I mean, it's not a good business decision, but I guess what Rarity realized is that success isn't worth the price of giving up who she is and what she believes in. Wow, that's really deep, and not something many of us would be able to do.
And yet, we see that maybe Sassy's business model may not be the best in the long term after all. Her declaration certainly seems to indicate she's tried these formulae before and met with similar results. Rarity, meanwhile, seems to suddenly be enjoying exactly the kind of success she wanted, as she brings out all of her unique designs and begins interacting with her customers directly.
Realizing this, Rarity decides not to close down the Canterlot boutique, but rather leave it in the caring hands of Sassy, who will now unquestioningly follow Rarity's business model. Also, that one goth mare asking if things would still be on sale? Brilliant!
And every sad fanfic where Rarity leaves her friends behind to move to Canterlot is now invalid. I lament nothing.
Oh my gosh, Estelle! Do you have
What
the
the
princess
fuck?
dress?
Okay, who let the crappy OC in here?
What the? What? Okay, this has to be a joke reference to something, but this time I'm at a loss. Someone clue me in, please.
Hold on. Let me check the interwebs. Huh. Well, what do you know?
But this answers nothing! Who is this pony? Why has she appeared in random character episodes? Has she appeared before, but we were just too ignorant to see the signs? What does this mean about equestrian society? About our reviews? About the universe? Could it be that our fates are being directed by this pony, pulling the strings from the shadows, living our lives for us, while we didn't even realize?
Okay? You think on that. I'm gonna go unstick this rocket motor.
Well, before you do that, we should wrap this episode up. How would you rate it?
Me? I'd give this episode a 10, no questions asked. Yes, this episode is suited for success part 2. You know what? It did it magnificently. This episode gave Rarity some amazing character development, not to mention having her take a huge leap towards her life's goal. This episode also gave us some pretty nice insight into economics in Equestria, and some good connections to how the real world works. I liked it a lot. And you?
Originally, I think I'd have given it a 9 just because I thought neither the song nor the art was quite as stellar as in Suited for Success, and that Sassy was a touch predictable. But now that I've had time to think about it, there's even more in this episode than I originally thought. This is Suited for Success Part 2, but it's a true continuation, not a repeat. We see different aspects of Rarity's creative drive, and how she struggles to fit it into easier, cheaper business models. And in these years, when big media publishing and box stores are in decline, and smaller endeavors are finding new life and audiences on the internet, it makes it an incredibly relevant episode for our times. I give it a 10 as well.
Well, that rounds out nicely to a 10 out of 10 for the start of the second half of Season 5. I hope the next episodes can match up. So, until next time, this has been Astro Brony.
And Thornquill.
And this is me, signing off.
See you next time.